You know that feeling all too well. Your direct deposit hits, and suddenly you feel a wave of relief wash over you. You've got money in the bank and life feels good. But then, almost without warning, 2 weeks pass and you're left scratching your head, wondering where it all went. You're right back to stretching every dollar until the next payday. If that sounds familiar, then that is exactly why I'm here, to help you escape that exhausting cycle for good. In today's episode, I'm walking you through 7 essential things you should do the moment you get paid. Not just so you can cover your bills or satisfy the urge to splurge, but so that you can actually save, invest, and start building real lasting wealth, the kind that gives you the life you've always envisioned for yourself. These are habits I personally practice every single time money hits my account, and I've seen them make a real difference. Hey everyone, my name is Fawani, and this is the Timeless Finance Podcast. The place where we talk about money strategies that stand the test of time so that you can build lasting wealth and real financial freedom. Now, let's get into it. Step 1 is pause before you spend a single dime. Just stop. Take a breather. This is arguably the most underrated step of all. When that paycheck comes in, it's tempting to immediately start swiping, transferring, or spending without a second thought. But acting on autopilot or out of excitement is exactly how money disappears. You put in the hours and the efforts to earn that money, so you owe it to yourself to be intentional about how you spend it. Once you've taken that moment to breathe, then check in with your finances. Make sure the deposit landed in the right account and that the amount matches what you were expecting. And then pull up your budget. Review when bills are coming up and when they are due. Then ask yourself honestly, given what just came in, where does this money need to go in order to truly work for me? Step 2 is pay yourself first. This one is something that you've probably heard before, but it's worth repeating because so many people are still not doing it. Listen, paying yourself first and automating it is simple. Before you pay anyone else, before a single bill gets covered, you set aside money for yourself, okay? For your savings, for your investments, and for your future. The reason this matters so much is because most people try to save what is left after spending. And here is the truth. There's rarely ever anything left. When you flip that script and take care of yourself first, saving stops being optional and starts being a giving. So, set up automatic transfers to your savings, like your high-yield savings account or your investment account. Even if you're starting with just $25 or $50 per paycheck, that consistency is going to compound over time in ways that will genuinely surprise you. Treat paying yourself like a non-negotiable bill, because it is. It's a bill you're paying to the most important person in your financial story, and that is your future self. Step 3 is to handle your essential expenses, but don't stop there. Look at the bigger picture. Once you've set money aside for yourself, it's time to address your necessities, like your rent or mortgage, your utilities, transportation, groceries, the things you can actually not go without. But here is where most people drop the ball. They pay the bills and move on without ever stopping to question what those numbers are telling them. Don't just pay and move on. Dig a little deeper. Ask yourself, has your grocery bill been creeping up lately? Are you spending more on dining out than you realize? Did your electricity bill go up this month? Is your phone plan still giving you the best value for what you are paying? These small moments of reflection can reveal major opportunities for you to save more money. Maybe you discover you're eating out 4 or 5 times a week and it's quietly draining your account. That is your sign to start meal prepping. Maybe you notice a subscription service that you forgot you were even paying for. Cancel it. If you review the trends in your service, you're not going to be guilty. You're going to be aware. And awareness is where financial change begins. Step 4 is fine-tune your budget. Now that you've reviewed what is happening with your money, use that information to adjust your budget for the weeks ahead. Update your numbers to account for any upcoming expenses that you think are on the horizon. And when you're in there, take a moment to check on your progress. How are you coming along with your savings goals? What about your investment contributions? What about your debt payoff plan? If you're falling behind, then how can you use this paycheck or the next few paychecks to get back on track? Here's the thing about budgets that a lot of people get wrong. They think a budget is a rigid, set it and forget it document. It's not. Your budget is a living, breathing tool that should evolve as your life does. It's not about being perfect. It's about being purposeful. Your budget is how you tell your money exactly where to go instead of you wondering where that money went. So, review it every single pay period so you can keep track of where your money is actually going. Step 5 is all about your future. Once the present is handled, think ahead, because the version of you that exists 5, 10, or even 20 years from now is counting on the decisions you make today. So use each paycheck as an opportunity to build towards that future. Add more money to your emergency fund if you need it. Make your retirement contributions, and if you have anything left over, consider putting even a small amount into investments outside of your retirement. Here's the thing people underestimate. It's not about the size of your contributions right now. It is about those habits. When you consistently set aside money for your future self, even if it's small amounts, you're planting seeds that will grow into financial security over time. Wealth isn't built overnight. It is built paycheck by paycheck, decision by decision, over years of intentional actions, okay? Step 6 is check in with your mindset. This is one that people almost always skip, and that is a mistake, okay? Managing money is not purely a math problem. So much of it is psychological. When you get paid, it's worth taking 15 to 30 minutes to sit down and reflect. What are your spending triggers? Are you reaching for your credit cards when you're stressed or bored? Are impulse purchases showing up on your bank statements more than they should? What went well this pay period and why? What was challenging and what caused that challenge? Being honest with yourself about these patterns is how you actually start changing them. And don't skip the wins, no matter how small they feel. Did you stick to your budget this week? Did you transfer money to savings? Did you listen to a finance podcast or maybe something that helped you think better about money? If that is the case, then celebrate that. Acknowledge that, because this financial journey is a long one, and the people who make it to the other side are the ones that find ways to stay motivated even when progress feels slow. Keeping your mindset grounded and positive is what separates people who eventually break free from financial stress from those who stay stuck. Step 7. Set spending boundaries. It's very important that you set clear boundaries around your spending before you start spending that money. You've done the hard work. You've paused, paid yourself first, covered your essentials, reviewed the trends, updated your budget, thought about your future, and checked in with your mindset. Now it's time to give yourself permission to enjoy your money. So, create a personal fun money allowance, okay? My husband and I have done this with our budget. We set aside money for fun activities. You've worked hard for this money, and it's okay to enjoy some of it without feeling guilty. Whether it's a nice dinner, a spa day, new shoes, or your favorite copy, just designate a specific amount of money for some fun activities. And if you don't use all of it during this pay period, roll it forward or redirect it somewhere else. Also, think ahead to any known upcoming expenses like birthdays, medical appointments, car maintenance, or travel, and then set aside money for those categories so that you're never caught off guard. And finally, when looking at all your non-essential expenses, make intentional decisions about what is actually worth it to you this pay period. Maybe your weekend trip feels frivolous right now, and you would rather put that money towards your emergency fund. Or maybe connecting with an old friend over dinner is absolutely worth budgeting for this month. There's no wrong answer, just intentional answers. So, look at what aligns with your values and your goals and spend accordingly. So, those are your 7 steps. 7 things you can do every single time your paycheck hits your bank account. And I want you to remember something. Every paycheck is not just money. It's an opportunity to get clear about your finances, to move further away from the paycheck to paycheck cycle, and to get one step closer to the financial freedom you deserve. You don't have to implement all 7 steps at once. Start with one, get comfortable with it, and then add another. And listen, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these steps are you going to try first? Or is there something you do when you get paid that I didn't mention? Drop it in the comments or reach out. I'd love to know. Thank you so much for tuning into the Timeless Finance podcast. And until next time, I'm Fawani, and you got this.